This past Sunday, we celebrated the baptism of our Lord, which is that wonderful story in the Gospels of Jesus coming to be baptized by John the Baptizer, and this manifestation of God's glory upon him and the light, the Spirit descending upon him like a dove, and the voice from heaven. I have kind of an old icon of that scene, the baptism of Jesus. And years ago, I had one of our teenagers, Elisa, who was an artist, and I asked her, could she do a version of this image for me? And so this is what she came up with. And this thing is just one of my favorite things ever. It's painted on a piece of plywood, and I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a very creative retelling of and a reimagination of this wonderful baptism icon. And there we have the angels looking on and John the Baptist. And I love the faces of the angels. They kind of have this kind of knowing sense, like almost a little mischievous, but joyful and happy at what's happening here. It's this wonderful scene of Jesus' baptism. And this is where we begin really the story of the adult Jesus as we make our way through the liturgical year. We start with the baptism. And it's always been intriguing to me that the gospel story really gets going with the baptism of Jesus. We spend a lot of time in Christmas. We talk about the birth narratives. We have a little story in Luke's gospel of when Jesus was 12 and he's in the temple. But we have this long stretch from the age of 12 to roughly around 30 or so, when Jesus made his public appearance as Messiah, as the baptized one, and he had this wonderful confirmation of his own identity, as the voice from heaven said, "You are my Son, the beloved." And it's always been intriguing to me. Where was he? Where did he go? How did he grow up? Those 18 years from 12 to 30, those are formative years for any of us, anyone growing up. And to not know anything about it, it's really rather mysterious. And I enjoy thinking about those missing years, what Jesus did, what he experienced, where he went, what kinds of things he studied, the thoughts that he had. How did he come to fully understand his own identity? It was as though that in his baptism, this identity was being affirmed and confirmed once and for all in this glorious manifestation there in the River Jordan. That maybe that was kind of the capstone to those 18 years of growing up and waking up and being led by the Spirit throughout. It's fascinating for me to think about that. And it's fascinating, I think, too, because it talks and points to our own journey, which is in itself a mysterious journey. It's a journey that we don't always know fully what's going on. We don't have great insight into it until perhaps that moment comes, like it did for Jesus, where we have that confirmation of our identity and our blessedness and our sense of who we are and what God has called us to do and to be. So I think in a lot of ways, Jesus' baptism points us to our own spiritual journey and the path that we take. And I think it leaves a lot of room for mystery, a lot of room for the Spirit moving in our lives and leading us and guiding us in ways that we're dimly aware of, but trusting that God is working on us all the time. And God willing, every now and then we have affirmations of that, and to bolster our spirits and to continue to lead us on. So as we celebrate this baptism, I hope we're able to celebrate our own, and to recognize that we are all on a spiritual journey, and that journey is often a mysterious one, and it leads us to places that we might not imagine we would ever go, but we try to be open to where God is leading us, and hopefully we discover along the way that God will give us some confirming and convicting moments to help us in our journey. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks so much, and God's peace be with you.